Hello and welcome to Fish Fingers and Custard, Explosion Network's after show, where we break down and discuss each and every episode of Doctor Who. My name's John Blight, and joining me, Ashley Hobley.
Hey John, I'm excited to be here, and I'm excited that we learned that Ruby Sunday's parents were filthy junk traders who sold you off for drinking money, dead in a pauper's grave in the Jakku Desert.
I mean, have you been practicing that all afternoon? Or?
No, I just thought of it and looked up the line.
Yeah, fair. Yep. So before we get to that, this week's episode, the finale of Doctor Who Season 1, Season 15, whatever we're calling it, I don't know. Season 1, I think, is what we're officially going by.
That's what Disney Plus is calling it.
It's what Disney Plus is saying it is, kids. So
that's all that matters now.
It's true. The big mouse. Empire Death season finale. Written by Russell T Davies, directed by Jamie Donoughue. The synopsis of which is: the Doctor has lost. His ageless enemy reigns supreme, and a shadow is falling over creation. Nothing can stop the devastation, except perhaps one woman. Ash, what did you think of the finale?
It was fine. I feel like there was a lot of stretching ideas and like bringing up things coincidentally, and everything kind of got resolved. Ncuti was good. I mean, all the acting was good, but I don't think the story kind of came together as well as we would have hoped. And when you're faced with the God of Death, I don't think how they defeated them was super satisfying. You know? Yeah.
So I think my problem with this finale, I guess, comes down to just not feeling that there was enough time. I feel like the first episode, or at least the first act of the story, nearly should have ended with everyone dying in the sand.
Yeah, the scene of the doc. Well, I mean, maybe they just didn't want to go.
Or maybe it ends with them in space, right? It ends with him crying.
Ends with them in space, looking at the planet. Yeah. Everybody's sand people. Maybe they just didn't want to go so close to Endgame with the show ending an episode like that. Another Disney property.
Nah, who cares? Then I would have wanted. So I think this should have been 3 episodes. Is where I'm at in my head. Then I think you do a whole novel episode of them trying to find,
figure it out.
Find Ruby's mum and whatever else, and figure things out, what to do, etc., etc., etc.
Mm-hmm.
Then you have the finale for the face down, because I don't think Sutek got enough time. Yeah. Like, it's that thing where I'm just, like, I've been told he's a big villain.
I mean, maybe if you'd watched the special, the episodes back in the day that they showed footage from.
Yeah.
Maybe
which they did apparently re-air on BBC with, like, them discussing it on the TARDIS or something like that. Which, cool. I appreciate that they tried to, like, get more people on board the story or whatever. Not everyone has BBC 4. Or whatever the fuck, where people watch that, you know. So
maybe they re-edited on the ABC. We don't know. They went, hey,
I looked. I
one more episode.
So, yeah, I did not. Definitely wasn't on the Disney Plus app. So
yeah,
you know. So if that was the reliance, then
to bring it all together.
Yeah. I mean, I just feel like which season was it? Like season 3 or 4? I'm trying to quickly look. Season 3? Yeah, season 3 of Doctor Who, where he loses, right? The Master wins. And then it's a whole year later, and the Doctor's like aged out and whatever else. Like, they really have him lose, you know. Like, if I'm thinking about, like, having him lose, and this sometimes the show does a good job at doing that and then having him win, of course. But like this, where they're like, he lost. I'm like, yeah, I don't feel like I know.
He lost, but it feels like he resolved it in like 24 hours.
Yeah, it really didn't feel like that long. I think that's my biggest problem, really.
Yeah, that's fair.
The thing that, of course, people are hung up about online is if you want to dive into the road of this, which is just obviously the non-reveals or the revelations weren't as exciting, I guess. So obviously we find out that Ruby's mother is a normal person, just abandoned her because she was a teenager at the time.
She was a 15-year-old in an abusive home.
Yes.
Makes sense.
Yeah. So like, well, she abandoned her because of this. But then, I don't mind that part. And there's an interview going around with Russell T Davies where it said it's hitting all the words to trigger the right people. Where
it's just right there. It's like, I want to piss off a certain fan base with this.
Yeah. He's like, I was inspired by The Last Jedi. It's like, you're cool, dude. I loved how Rey was a nobody.
Yeah. I was real angry when they did retcon to this Rise Skywalker.
Good shit. So in, I guess, the idea, I like the idea. I don't feel like he did a good job.
The idea that these are only significant because we put significance on it.
Yes. I think that's a cool idea.
It's a cool idea
to play with.
But I don't think it's set up to be that.
No.
Because we go back in time and this lady is wearing old robes.
Yeah.
Really old robes that no 15-year-old would be wearing. Unless her parents
I can look past the robes because I'm like, she's goth.
Okay.
And the TARDIS just
magically, nobody there magically could see her face.
Yep.
And then she just happened to point.
Yeah. That's the moment. That's the part
apparently for nobody.
Just swings around. No one's around. Just swings around and points. That's how old children are named, I believe. I don't.
Yeah.
So, yeah, this is where I fall. I'm like, I'm going, yep, Russell, I think that's a cool idea. I appreciate that you want to explore that. And on paper, yes, I agree that in general, pop culture, especially, people do put too much into these big reveals and stuff like that. Because in general, people do. And they it doesn't matter how good the story surrounding it is or anything like that. If the reveal isn't good or whatever, or some big secret isn't as good as they want it to be, then that's it. Everything's wrong.
If someone isn't related to somebody, yeah,
it's wrong, right? So I was like, I get it. Cool idea. I think he did a bad job at doing it all, because he gave. I think the part that's had him come undone is by trying to put too many scenes in and give the audience too many things to try and make it out like it is actually meaningful.
Too many things. Too many unnecessary breadcrumbs.
Yeah, I feel like if you want to do this story, you take out some shit like the pointing and whatever else. It's just too weird, right? Too weird to not have people, I think, rightly theorize about something. And you just rely on the fact that if you give the audience a mystery and add nothing else to it and just go, here's a mystery box, a J.J. Abrams mystery box. I'm going to give you no extra hints, no extra clues. I'm going to make it any weirder than it's just solely a who is this person's mother, that people would start, and they willed, because straight away, even from the Christmas special, people are like, well, she must be related to this person, blah, 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 blah. I think he could have just relied on people just diving into that and just left it. And then when we got to the end here, it probably would have been better. Because then people wouldn't have been like, well, how about that? Or how about that? People could have just been like, well, yeah, I guess there was no signs, right? There was just, we just thought that, I feel like there was a world in which this works.
Yeah, there's a way that they could have done it to make it work. And this wasn't it. Although, if you make it too simple, like, why would Sutek be interested in who Ruby's mother was?
See, that part I can again. I think a lot of the at least in my head, a lot of the little elements and stuff make more sense. So Russell thinks he's gave us the version that we're talking about existing, if that makes sense. So I'm saying I wish it was done this way. That would be a lot more exciting. But he thinks he's given that to us, right?
Yes.
So in the same way, he's going, well, when people love this, it'll make all these other things make more sense because you got to, I think, and again, I'm sort of playing in the realm of bullshit with this season of Doctor Who. You've got to tie it back down to the edge of the earth thing, the coming to. It's sort of fourth wall breaking, I think, is what the point was. At least that's how I'm taking it. The show has had characters break fourth wall, and because the audience was so invested in her being a mystery character, I took it as it was meant to be a fourth wall break. Yeah. So she becomes mysterious, and people in the show think it's mysterious because we think it's mysterious.
Because there are mysterious characters around them. Yeah,
that's how I took it. I think that's the level of that's the onion. That's how deep the onion goes. I think.
I mean, onions are usually quite shallow. So.
Yeah. Okay. Does that make sense? Well, it doesn't make sense because I don't think it works because he hasn't done as good a job as he thinks he has.
No, yeah.
But I think that's what that's what
he was going for.
That's what I think he was going for.
Yeah,
I believe. Which again, on paper, don't hate. And I think there's more obvious. Well, there is. We know there's more obviously to come because if you want to open that can of worms, obviously Susan Twist or whatever her name is, Mrs. Flood. Sorry,
Triad.
Mrs. Flood.
Oh, Mrs.
Sorry, Susan
Flood.
Triad. No, I'm getting two characters confused. Mrs. Flood comes back to life, and then at the end of the season, she's on the roof again, fourth wall breaking, narrating. Of course, she's the big villain running from one season to the next. I assume she's a god of something. God of story? Because if she is the god of story or something like that, again, that would help with sense. These couple seasons themes and stuff about storytelling and all that sort of stuff make more sense. So, because the other thing is that people keep being like, oh, I know I don't know this because it's a character I have no idea, but people are like, she's dressed up like so-and-so, some character from the classic series. And then people are like, well, last episode she was dressed up like Clara, which I saw in the shot by shot. It's the same jumper and whatever else. And then she says when she comes out, clever boy. And that's like a very companion, like all these things. And people are trying to read into those. And I'm like, I think it's very funny. And again, I think this is the other problem with trying to do a story like this is that you've got Russell T Davies on one hand going, ha, got you's good, didn't I? That's what you get for trying to read into and discover the secret of a character. There isn't one, you fuckers. And then the episode ends with a lady on the roof going, I've obviously got a mystery. And Russell is like, yeah, but read into her. Like,
yeah,
something going over there. So it's sort of like you get conflicting emotions because you're like, well, this character obviously has something going on. What do you reckon? What do you reckon Mrs. Flood is?
I think Mrs. Flood is part of that pantheon in some way. Because obviously she knew what was coming, she was talking shit to old grandma in the bed.
Yeah.
But was unable to stop it from happening, I guess, so. I'm keen to see what that's tied into because obviously, it's implied that, things are going to get worse for the Doctor, surprisingly. But yeah, I think it's pretty clear she's part of that pantheon of gods that Ross T. Davies is kind of building.
Yeah. Before I forget, I want to say shout out to my favorite scene of the episode, which was when Morris was shooting TARDIS with a machine gun on his little scooter motor.
His little scooter, his pump action thing. The old Vlex shooting laser beams from its eyes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, the Vinks, I mean. Sorry. Vlinks.
Yeah,
Vlink?
Blinks, yeah.
Yeah, the Vlinks.
Whatever it is, Blinks, yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, his little scooter bushing.
They're like, literally
He's a
have
13-year-old.
Kate's like, I will hire children. Not only will I hire children for unit, I will give them machine gun armed
Yeah. Scooters.
scooters.
Oh,
yeah.
Segways.
Segways, yeah. Fucking
Funny. It's like, weren't
wild.
they any of them concerned about damaging the TARDIS? If we ever established the TARDIS is bulletproof.
No, they didn't give a shit. TARDIS is fine. So outside of that, I want to say Sutek in general. Sutek. Fun name to say. I think crappy villain. I think part of it is that we have no history with this person. We've not seen the classic episode. But outside of that, they should have tried to reintroduce and make him his own, right? I do think there is an element of, in the original series, it's a dude in a like Pharaoh's helmet or whatever, right? So there's like a human element to it. Having him be a dog for the entire thing, I think does do that like brain, like you can't fully
can't accept it. You know?
Yeah. It's not like the CGI looked terrible or like I actually think it looked pretty good. And all that sort of stuff. But it's just you can't like go, well, this villain, he doesn't, like, I don't get it. Like, you know, whereas if he was a humanoid character, like his first appearance was, I think he probably could have been scarier.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like if he transformed down.
Which one are you more scared of? Giant human Galactus or giant Cloud Galactus?
Giant human Galactus.
Yes, see? They're done.
Yeah.
You know, which one was more of a threat? Mads Mikkelsen and Doctor Strange or the friggin' monster at the end?
Yeah. Mads Mikkelsen.
Yeah. So there's a tangible actual conflict.
Yeah.
With that said, I do enjoy the art that's been built, come out of this episode. Of Sutek just riding the TARDIS, because apparently he's just been sitting there the entire time.
Yeah,
he's been there the whole time. You know, unseen.
Yeah, I don't believe that.
You know, when we've gone everywhere across the entire universe, you know, any time period, just be chilling there, just taking a nap on the TARDIS, unseen.
I'm still gonna say they can try and say as much.
Those
as
previous 13 seasons, he was there.
Yeah, he was there. I'm saying he's been there since.
Yeah, when Rory
the edge of the universe.
Rory and Amy were making a little melody, he was there.
Yep, he was there.
Watching through the window.
Yep. Imagine if River Song turned out to be no one.
Could you imagine the fan base would have blown?
Would have fucking blown. Yeah. Yeah, I got nothing else really.
I mean, the only other thing is there was during this episode, there's the scene with Sean Clifford, who is the woman that's just in this deserted town.
Oh, she's on that planet, right?
Yeah. She's on the planet. Sean Clifford from Fleabag, so reasonably big actress, just suddenly appears out of nowhere in the middle episode for very limited reasons. I feel like that felt like a swerve. It's like, oh, this is the stunt casting they're getting for Ruby's mum, and there's a baby right next to her. You know, I thought that was going to be a tie-in, but no, it's just, you know, a very sad story as part of a very sad story.
I think I think the scene's supposed to do two things, which is just give you that it's the one scene between them going to solve it and the end of the world, basically. It's the only scene, which again, it just feels weird. But it's supposed to give you that, hey, see how fucked the world is because of it and how it affects these normal people, that sort of scene. It also gives a chance for the Doctor to do his shoot his version of just very, you know, relatable and just talking nice to people and whatever. Get one of those sorts of scenes. It also gets to pre-set up and teach you a lesson for assuming that the woman with the baby is probably going to be Ruby's mom. You know what I mean?
Yeah. He got me.
Because everyone would be sitting there. Me too, of course. I like it starts. I see a woman. I see a baby. I go, aha.
They stumbled across it.
Here we go.
She's wearing robesque clothes.
Yes. Yeah, she's going to go back in time. That's the thing we're going to do here. It's a Ruby baby.
Shooty's going to take that baby and put it back, and then he's going to point. That's
damn right. Yep. So it's his baby all along. Ruby was the child of the TARDIS or some shit. Yep. And then, they're like, no, it's nothing.
Yeah.
So I think it was just part of the same ploy, really.
Mm-hmm.
And why wasn't actress with at least some stature? I don't know. It's a very intimate scene. You need someone who can act, I guess. I don't know, someone who can hold their own
they're a
for
fan.
5-6 minutes.
They're friends with RTD.
Maybe
a bunch of reasons it could be. Yeah. What do you think of all the tie-ins to 73 yards or bringing up 73 yards things?
She mentioned it and she was like, 73 yards. I was like, aha!
I was right.
It was right. It's
more important than we thought.
Yeah,
but it turns out the thing that was important is that Prime Minister was like, I want everybody's DNA. Even though he was Prime Minister for a very short period. And everybody was more concerned about him wanting nuclear weapons.
Yep.
Apparently, he wanted everyone to have DNA. I don't even know if that was part of that episode. Was that part of his policy? I don't recall that being
mentioned.
No. Because everybody remembers the freaking nuclear weapons that he wanted to buy.
Maybe if they'd mentioned it, anyone at home, or not anyone that clicked onto it would have been like, well, if that's the technology they have, then why don't they just drop it?
She's really close to the Prime Minister. She could probably just check herself.
Yeah. I think I was both I knew that episode would come back to be more important. And then my other half goes, but not like this.
So is it... So the 73 yards is the TARDIS perception filter and how far it goes.
Yeah.
Yes. So is then... I still don't know how it all ties in. Was Ruby so it's giving the future Ruby the shouting at her and following her through that entire episode? What is the woman?
It's her, right?
Yeah. But why and how?
Yeah, that's
Has Ruby got a piece of the TARDIS stuck in her? So then, the perception filter is 73 yards away constantly.
She gets further than 73 yards. She literally travels into an entire another town away from TARDIS and the woman still follows her.
Yeah, but she must have a perception filter on her that is then transmitting 73 yards away. Because that's as close as she could see it or something.
Yeah.
I don't know. It doesn't make 100% sense still.
No, it doesn't. But don't worry, because Russell T Davies is like, don't worry, guys, season 2.
Yeah.
And the thing is, this is where I felt I enjoyed this episode. I don't think it's fantastic. I think it's held together by some good acting and
duct tape
and whatever else. But the season as a whole, I think, other than these, I'm going to say that this episode and one before, because last week was we'll have to see how next week is to really judge this episode. And now I've seen the whole story. I'm like, eh. But I think everything before, I still think this is a really solid season.
Yeah.
I've seen some people rank it, I've seen some lists where people put it at the bottom outside of the last 3 seasons. And I'm like, yeah, that's fair. Obviously, that makes it seem like it's really, really shit. But
you got to remember the stuff before.
Yeah.
14
and I saw someone
good.
write I saw someone write it's better than anything we've had for years, but everything else is much better. So I still enjoyed it, but here's where I'm like, yeah, that's fair. I mean,
yeah.
That's probably how I feel about it.
No, I feel that's fair. I think there's episodes Boom, that's I really enjoyed that episode. It was fantastic. One I'll definitely remember. But as a whole,
Boom,
definitely didn't have the.
Yeah, let's just.
It's fresh as well, and a lot of those previous seasons is still a nostalgic element to them. I feel as well.
Yeah.
So.
So, of course, let's just recap thematically a little bit here. It's like it starts with Church of Ruby Road, Band and Baby, goblins, magic's introduced, basically.
Yeah.
Singing, 4/4 breaks.
Yeah.
Space babies.
Mm-hmm.
A villain that's only alive because people believe in it.
Yeah.
Important
Mm-hmm.
thing to note. Devil's Cord, Maestro.
Yep.
Villain. Says there's a song in her heart.
Yeah.
What is the song?
Yeah.
I've seen people make fun of that scene now. I think that the Maestros just sing.
I mean, it's
again,
the Christmas song. That's the song in your heart, right?
Yes. Yeah. Just like that time. It's whatever's in her heart from that time when she was dropped on Ruby Road for whatever reason. It's just, yeah. Then we get Boom.
Imprinted itself in her.
Boom's fantastic, as I was just saying.
Yeah.
Nothing in that has anything to do with the rest of the season. It's the most like sort of standalone.
Yeah.
Which is probably why it stands out. 73 yards, which I really do. I still want to say I really like because most of it I think is like 3/4 of it is fantastic, I think.
Yeah.
And then just drops off. But that's 3/4, really good shit, I think. And then
cool concept, doesn't have an ending.
Yeah. That's the current theme at the moment. Dot and Bubble, which is about white people being racist.
About maybe some people should be killed.
Or is it about like how sometimes it's, I don't know. I'm trying to tie it together now. You know,
I don't think
seeing the truth is sometimes harder than, I don't know.
Yeah.
Something like that. And then you got Rogue, who I'm definitely saying is coming back next season. Hot. Yeah. Bridgerton's the shit right now, so let's do some of that. Yeah. But we got people literally being like, I'm going to cosplay as someone. Rogue comes back next season. There's no way. No way.
Mm-hmm.
Tony Award winning.
Yes, Tony Award winning.
Guest actor. Yeah. And then, of course, the finale.
Yeah.
Like, it's just, like, compared to the seasons before, I don't look at those episodes and go, oh my God. Like, let me find one I like. You know? I can go, yep, enjoyed that. That was fantastic. 3/4 of that was great. That was a bit of fun. That was some good shit. Meh. Like, that sort of... That's how I feel about it. All right, anything else before we wrap up for the season?
I guess the finale of the episode where, you know, Ruby, despite the doctor's wishes, just straight up like goes in and sets up a plan to introduce herself to her mother. Which I think as a person, but I think as her mother, I would fucking freak out. Just out of nowhere. How did you find
I appreciated that it shows that her companion, like as much as she loves the doctor, it's not a, well, he said not to, so I won't. She's like, well, I'm doing it. Like, fuck off.
Yeah, absolutely. And then that leads to them all being reunited, and then her finding the details about her dad, and then the doctor kind of them separating. This feels like, you know, it could have potentially been the end of Ruby Sunday if that's what they wanted to do. And if the original rumors were true, is what they plan to do.
Well, I don't know. And they said they I don't know. If you didn't know she was coming back, would you?
If I didn't know she was coming back, I would assume, oh, I guess this is it. You know, one season, just like Martha, and
yeah,
you know, it felt like a finale.
Yeah, I've seen people mention that they think she'll be like a Martha now. Which Okay.
I mean, apparently
then-
anyone who's had anything to do with the Doctor is suddenly part of UNIT. So
Yeah.
you know, Susan Triad, a well-known, tech billionaire in this world who has like a creative mind. Was clearly about to launch something really cool. It's like, oh, I guess I'll work for UNIT. I can make tea.
That was a good bit though. Did you make this tea? I did. Don't make the tea.
Oh, that's the other thing. What's her name? Kate.
Mm.
At the end there, holding the
Old mate's hand.
dude's hand. You know, is she doing the HR issue?
She's doing a HR issue, all right. She's doing a HR issue in the broom closet.
Also, it's like, oh, I believe the birds are going to sing again. Not really cool death line.
Yeah. I'll tell you, it's a quick side note. I watched the movie The Beekeeper, starring Jason Statham.
Yes.
Jemma Redgrave plays the president in that movie. It's so weird. So weird to watch, but yeah. All right. Well, we'll be back, of course. Christmas special.
Christmas.
I don't think we have a title or anything yet, but
I thought we might have.
Do we?
Yeah,
I thought it was just the Doctor will return in something. And we're back to Christmas specials, right?
Yeah.
Thank God.
Joy to the World, apparently.
Okay. Cool. So it'll be Rubyless, which is fine. I don't. Presuming we meet up with the new companion in this, or will it just be a one-off? Do you reckon? It's just a random.
I don't know. Hard to say.
Yeah.
This far out.
It is. All right. Well,
Written by Stephen Moffat, apparently.
Whoa.
So probably a standalone.
Probably a standalone then, which is fine. I'm fine with it.
Mm-hmm.
There could still be a little last couple minutes set up for the season.
It's like, oh, there's Ruby.
Yeah, crazy. It's been there the whole time. This is crazy with Stephen Moffat. It's like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm back.
Why not?
I'll Christmas special. Let me
listen. I don't want a show run. I just want to come in, write crazy episodes, and go leave.
Yeah.
Like Auntie Davis is like, sure. I'm down with that.
What has he been doing? Like, no, that sounds to me. I know what he's obviously Sherlock and Dracula and whatever else. I was like, what's he doing at the moment, though? Apparently a TV show stars Karen Gillan. Okay. There you go. Oh, he did that Time Traveler's Wife TV series, which I watched.
That's right.
Yes, that's right. Time travel. He loves it.
Can't get away from it.
Can't get away from it, old boy. All right, that'll do it for this week's episode of Fish Fingers Custard. Of course, we'll be back at the Christmas special, not on Christmas Day, but sometime after discussing it when we watch it. Thank you for listening to us discuss the new season of Doctor Who. And yeah, we'll be back next year for season 2, whenever they do that as well. Of course, check out all the other podcasts on explosionhour.com. Find some good stuff over there. Sometimes we talk about other things that involve time travel on What Do You Want to Watch. Check that out. And check out explosionhour.com in general. That'd be a good time over there. And until next time, we'll see you. Goodbye. Have a good time.